Good day, greeting students. I am very happy to meet you all again in grade 12 economics. We are discussing about the Indian economic development, part B of our 12th economics. So far we have discussed 3 chapters about our Indian economy. What are the various things that we have discussed? We have discussed the position of Indian economy before independence, that is during colonial rule. The second step was to discuss Indian economy after independence, immediately after independence, that is right from 1950 to 1990. Why have we segregated it as 1950 to 1990? Because in 1980s we started to face difficulties with our Indian economy, and that led to a huge financial crisis in 1990. So that is why we have stopped our discussion from 1950 to 1990, and from 1991 a new era has been started through the LPG reforms. What are those LPG reforms? What are those LPG reforms? Liberalization, privatization and globalization. How these reforms have developed our society as well as the economy. How they have influenced many aspects of your Indian economy and political decisions is what we discussed in chapter number 3. Now we are moving on to chapter number 4, and from this chapter we will be discussing about the current challenges that are faced by the Indian economy. Though we have attained certain growth, though we have been good with the reserves and all those stuff, but still there are still these challenges that has to be faced by us. Like what? Like poverty. The first biggest challenge that our country, not only our country, any country faces is actually poverty. If we get rid of poverty, then of course our country is said to be really in growth. So as Adam Smith said, no society can surely be flourishing and happy of which the far greater part of the members are poor and miserable. எந்த ஒரு கண்ட்ரியில் ஏதோ ஒரு பார்ட் ஆஃப் பீப்புள் புவராகவும் சேடாகவும் இருக்கிறப்போ அந்த கண்ட்ரி ஃப்ளரிஷிங்காக இருக்குது, ரொம்ப வெல்த்தியாக இருக்குது, ஹாப்பியாக இருக்குங்கிற ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் cannot be given. So we can also not give such a statement because India poses to be having 1/5 of the poor people living in India, and though we have taken many steps to uplift the poor people from their sadful situation, we still had to face this. Till today it is supposed to be a current challenge. Till today it is there, it is alive, it's still going. Okay, so these are the current challenges that is faced. So far we have discussed about what is poverty, who are called poor people, poverty line, statistics connected with poverty, all these points have been discussed, and in the previous session we have discussed about what causes poverty, what is the reason for poverty. So far we have actually discussed all of these points, and now what are we going to discuss? We are going to discuss about the policies and programs. Policies and program discussion is going to happen. The Indian Constitution and 5-year plan state social justice as the primary objective of the development strategies of the government. Let's quickly recall the general aims of or 5-year plans are first is in no particular order: modernization, growth, self-reliance, and equity. ஜென்ரலாகவே நம்மளோட பிளானிங் கமிஷனோட எல்லா பிளானுமே each plan was dependent on one particular detail. ஆனால் generally all the plans somehow focused on these 4 important points. They were modernization, growth, self-reliance and equity. Modernization na including modern technology in the production and all the process, having modern thoughts. Okay, that was modernization. Growth, the overall growth, continuous நம்ம ஒரு growth rate fix பண்ணி we were showing progress, we were measuring our growth through this growth rate. Then self reliance, what we have to be self reliant. நம்ம எப்பவுமே எந்த country மேலயும் டிபெண்டண்டா இருக்க கூடாதுங்கிறது தான் point. That was self reliance. Then this important point, equity. All of us should be treated equally, right? Equity na enna, all of us should be treated equally. All of us should have the basic standard of living. All of us should have equal opportunities to grow. இது எல்லாத்தையும் தான் நம்ம என்ன நேம் சொல்றோம்? We are calling them as equity. Understood? So these were our primary goals. இதை தாண்டி தான் நம்ம next step போகணும். How these things can constitute to a policy that helps poor people. Modernization grappo, when you bring new technology, it should have helped poor people to come out of it, to get employed. Modern thoughts grappo, it should have left out discrimination. Poverty lo or important point நம்ம என்ன பார்த்தோம்? Discrimination over anything, let it be caste, let it be religion, let it be the gender, ஏதோ ஒரு sort of discrimination. So when you are supposed to have modernization, modernized thoughts, then that should remove this discrimination. Did it remove? That's actually a big question. Growth, this is one of the important aspects. Growth எப்படி இருக்கணும்? It should have an overall development to the country. Growthங்கிறது it should not be only industrial growth. அதில் இருக்கிற மக்களும் they should also grow. Their standard of living should improve. The human development index should improve. நம்ம என்ன ரேங்க்ல இருக்கோம்னு பார்த்தோம்? Somewhere around 134 or something out of 180 countries la we were somewhere behind இல்லையா over the human development index. So is it worthwhile? No, it was not at all worthwhile. We have discussed about this human development index in, where did we discuss it? I think we have discussed it in index numbers 11th standard. So அதுலயுமே நம்ம எங்க இருக்கோம்? We are so backward. Growth அப்படின்னா it should cover everybody. Fine, it should be an overall growth. It should not be concentrated only on one sector of people ங்கறதான் point. Self reliance, we should not be dependent. ஆனா இன்னைக்கு நம்ம அப்படி இருக்கோமா? No, we should not be dependent madri. Our people also should not be dependent on anybody, but these poor people, they are dependent on the government for the policies, for the programs. அவங்களுக்கு பணம் கொடுக்கிறது ஒரு பெரிய விஷயம் கிடையாது. It is all about creating the opportunities to earn by themselves. என்ன பண்ணோம்? நம்ம ஒரு பிரச்சனையில் இருக்கிறவங்கள we go and save them, fine, but what we should teach our children, the next generation, the ways to protect themselves from self reliance. I mean protect themselves from any problem. நம்ம போய் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணாமல் அட்லீஸ்ட் த பேசிக் திங்ஸ் தே ஷுட் நோ. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கவர்மெண்ட், ஒரு கண்ட்ரி should take care of its people. It should make even its people self-reliant. Government எதுக்கு ஹெல்ப் எதிர்பார்க்கலாம்? It can expect them for a help, but not exactly everything to be done by the government. Right? And then finally, equity. Very, very important. All of us should have equal status in the society. We all should be treated in the same way. எல்லாருமே human beings தான். You are also a citizen of this country and I am also a citizen of this country. So what rights I have, you should also have. Fine. What problems I undergo, you should be aware of those problems. எல்லாருமே எங்கே தான் வரும்? We come under one particular big family called a country. In a family, when one of the family members have a problem, it affects the entire family. Family யாரோ ஒருத்தருக்கு உடம்பு சரியில்லைனா கூட the entire family takes care. It supports. Similarly, when one sector of our country is suffering, then it is the responsibility of all of us to take care of that particular sector and bring them up out of that situation. Understood? Okay. So to quote the first 5-year plan, the urge to bring economic and social change under present conditions comes from the fact of poverty and inequalities in income and wealth opportunities. So first 5-year plans எதை பத்தின இருந்துச்சு? The first 5-year plan between 1951 to 56 was made for what? To bring economic and social change. ஏன்னா நம்மளோட colonial rule we were in a very difficult position. So you need to first bring up that society. அந்த ஒரு நெகட்டிவிட்டியில இருந்து we should bring out people and then we can make the corrections. Isn't it? So to bring that slavery and all should be stopped, banned. Economic and social changes. To bring what? To bring economic and social changes. Fine. This should be taken care about. அதுதான் first 5-year plan ஓட மோட்டோவா இருந்துச்சு. Under present conditions comes from the fact of poverty and inequalities. எதுக்காக? Changes due to poverty and inequalities in income and wealth. One of the important characteristics of government budget is it should reallocate resources. Income and wealth la irukra inequalities remove பண்ணுங்கிறது தான் கவர்மெண்ட் பட்ஜெட்டோட ஒரு இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் ஃபங்க்ஷனாக இருக்குது. பட் initially during the first 5-year plan it was not it was a dream come true. We were in such a situation. It was a very difficult situation that we need to pull ourselves together and out of it. Okay, the second 5-year plan also pointed out that the benefits of economic development must accrue more and more to the less privileged class of society. What did the second 5-year plan say? It said the benefits of economic development should accrue more and more to the less privileged class of the society. யாரை நம்ம less privilegedனு சொல்கிறோம்? who do not have much of wealth, poor people தான் நம்ம என்னென்னு சொல்கிறோம்? we are calling them as the less privileged class. So what did second 5-year plan aim at? Whatever economic development we face, the country faces, it should actually be concentrated. அதோட ஃப்ரூட்ஸை யார் என்ஜாய் பண்ணோம்? it should be enjoyed by the less privileged class. அதுதான் inequalities-ஐ remove பண்ணும். And then it will pull them up from the below poverty line status. Fine. So in all policy documents, emphasis was given on alleviating and lifting up the poor. So all the policies concentrated on alleviating the poor people மேலே தூக்கிறதுக்காக இருந்துச்சு. So alleviating means what? Lifting up. Poverty alleviation, to lift up, to to lift up people from below poverty line. அவங்களுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுற மாதிரி எல்லா பாலிசியுமே டிசைன் ஆயிருந்துச்சு. என்ன மாதிரியான சிஸ்டம் கொண்டு வந்தாலும் the focus behind it was given to what? poverty alleviation. இன்றைக்கும் நம்ம சொசைட்டியில் நம்ம கவர்மெண்ட் கொண்டு வர எல்லா பாலிசியுமே behind it what stays அப்படின்னா poverty alleviation stays as a point, okay, as the concern, and that various strategies need to be adopted by the government for the same. What do we need next? We need certain strategies, we need some plans, we need some dimensions to undergo this poverty alleviation. அது அவ்வளோ சிம்பிள் கிடையாது. Okay, they were like that for years and years. Now when you need to lift them up, you need some extra energy and extra care and some special strategies to be followed, and that is what we are going to discuss now. So the strategies followed by the government, what were they? First thing, the government's approach to poverty reduction was of 3 dimensions. How many dimensions? 3 dimensions. The first one was growth oriented approach. ஸோ எதை பற்றி இருந்துச்சு? எது மூலியமாக நம்மளால் பாவர்ட்டியிலேருந்து பீப்புளை மீட்க முடியும்னு நினச்சோம்? த்ரூ த growth oriented approach. So it is on the expectation that the effects of economic growth rapid increase to GDP and per capita income would spread to all societies. So என்ன யோசிச்சாங்க? The increase in GDP would result in increase in per capita income for all the sections of society. ஒன்று ரெண்டு இல்லாமல் எல்லா செக்ஷன்ஸுக்கும் ஈக்குவலாக அவங்களோட per capita income increase ஆகுங்கிறது தான் growth oriented approach. So it was actually a plan. Economic development and growthங்கிறப்போ when GDP increases, automatically it will be divided by the population. So when it is divided by the population, we have the per capita income of each individual. Equally it will increase. Okay, everybody will get that equity. This poor people also will be benefited through this. Was a plan, was the expectation we had. But what happened? This was a major focus of planning in the 1950s and early 1960s. It felt that rapid industrial development and transformation of agriculture through green revolution. They thought the IPR. What is IPR? Industrial Policy Resolution and Green Revolution will help poor, was a thinking. Okay, but what happened? Is it true? In chapters 2 and 3 we have discussed about what were the policy reforms. என்னெல்லாம் பார்த்தோம் நம்ம IPR ல private sectors industrialization started, public sectors இருந்தாங்க. We will produce for the benefit of the society. அவங்களுக்கு தேவையான goods, all will get employment opportunities. நிறைய industry start பண்ணுறோம். Then green revolution, agricultureக்கு backup கொடுக்குற மாதிரி we started the green revolution. We gave the seeds, we gave everything of subsidized rate. இதெல்லாம் என்ன யோசிச்சோம்? We all did think that the policy makers thought that this will alleviate the poor people. அவங்களுக்கு ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்கும். They thought that they would come up, they would get income, they would be benefited by these policies were the thinking. But population growth has resulted in a very low growth in per capita income. Population growth also was there. There was no awareness about the population. Simply population was growing. So எவ்வளோ நம்ம GDP கொண்டு வந்தாலும், even though the national income was keeping on increasing, the per capita income was not increasing. Yeah, because the population was keeping on growing. ஒரே மாதிரி வளர்ந்துட்டே இருந்தது. Now imagine a person earns 10,000 and there were 2 members in the family. So என்ன யோசிக்கிறாங்க? So each person's expenditure amounts to 5,000. அப்படி நம்ம யோசிக்கிறோம். Fine. Later on the person's income increases. கொஞ்சம் increase ஆகுது to 12,000. But the population in the family has also grown. 2 members and it has become 3 members. So now how much it is? As it increased the expenditure kept for one person, earlier 5,000 per person ஆயிருந்தது, now it has become 4,000 per person. The same condition happens with the country. இது ஒரு ஃபேமிலிக்கு நம்ம சொல்கிறோம், அதே மாதிரி தான் கண்ட்ரிக்கும். Even though the income has increased, income என்னதான் இருக்கு, it has increased from 10,000 to 12,000, it has increased. At the same time the population also has increased. 2 personsலேருந்து 3 personsக்கு போயிடுச்சு. The result is the per capita income has fallen down. The same condition prevails for the country as well. As population growth irukka, how much ever income comes, how much ever the GDP increases, how much ever the country grows economically, the per capita income would never rise, because it has to be divided by the total population. Alright, so this was one negative point. The next thing is, the gap between poor and rich has actually widened. The Green Revolution exacerbated the disparities regionally and between large and small farmers. We saw Green Revolution required lots of investment. What did we discuss in chapter 2? That Green Revolution needs a lot of time, effort, and you need money. Why? For Green Revolution you used the HYV seeds. HYV na high yielding value seeds, variety, high yielding variety seeds. அப்படிங்கிறப்போ the irrigation should be according to that. Next comes the pesticides, fertilizers you use, இது எல்லாமே is costly. Right, then dated farmers, they had very little land in their possession. So அந்த லேண்டுக்கு அவங்க பண்ணணும்னா they need investment. So government gives them at a subsidized rate, fine, subsidy irukku, but still bearing that subsidy and taking care of it was a big deal. So the gap between rich and poor were growing. அதில் எந்த விதமான reduction in inequalities were not at all happening. It was keep on going and going and going. There were no changes in it. Fine. And there was unwillingness and inability to redistribute land. Did land ceiling work? Land ceiling wasn't very fruitful. எல்லாருமே ட்ரூவா லேண்ட் கொடுத்துட்டாங்களான்னா நோ. So the inequalities are still prevailing. நம்மளோட பாலிசிலாம் நம்ம நல்லா பண்ணோம், but was it put into effect? Was it handled in a proper manner, in a prescribed manner is a question, and the answer is actually no. Right? Because land ceiling should have happened. It should have happened. Land ceiling நடந்திருந்துச்சுன்னா literally the land distribution would have been done. So எல்லாருக்குமே ஒரு equal or a decent level of land owning இருந்திருக்கும். With that they could have done something on Green Revolution. ரொம்ப கொஞ்சம் லேண்டுக்கு நம்ம அவ்வளோ எக்ஸ்பென்ஸ் பண்ண மாட்டோம். If it is a very big land, fine, the expenses நம்ம எப்படி business studiesல பார்க்குறோம் இல்லையா, mass production will lead to less cost. அதே மாதிரி தான் இது. So when the land size is big, the production cost, the cost that you have to incur for Green Revolution will be minimal. Fine. So for looking for economists state that the benefits of economic growth have not trickled down the poor. Poor people இது சரி பண்ணுச்சானா no. So this growth strategy irukku illaya, the growth oriented approach did not bring down the number of poor people who were suffering அப்படிங்கிறது தான் point. So now we are moving on to the second approach, which is called as the poverty alleviation programs, the special programs. So enadhu, the second approach was, this was the first approach, 3 dimensions or no. The first approach is growth oriented approach. The second approach is what? Poverty alleviation programs, separate programs. Poverty alleviation programs. So which concentrated on it? The third 5-year plan, which was between 1961 to 66. And do you remember children, after 3 5-year plans we stopped 5-year plans for a while. Idukapprama in the timing la war vandadunala we stopped the 5-year plans and we moved on with rolling plans. So எத்தனை plan continuous ah pochuna, 3 5-year plans continuous ah pochu. And what was the effect of the third 5-year plan? The second approach has been initiated from the third 5-year plan, and second approach enna, poverty alleviation programs, and it has been expanding and enlarging. Appadina enna artham? When you say that a certain program is expanding and enlarging, the need for it is still there. Fine. If something, if a shop is getting expanded, if the production is getting more, abdina the need and demand is more in artham. Similarly, when a program, when a government policy or a program gets extended, that means the need for putting that program into practice is still there na artham. Fine. Most poverty alleviation programs implemented are based on the perspective of the 5-year plans. So on the particular goal irukum illaya, that this should be attained within this 5-year space, other focus panni da nammaloda in the programs alla irukum. The most popular program that has been told is Food for Work in 1970s. Food for Work was introduced in 1970s, and expanding self-employment programs and wage employment programs are being considered as a major way of addressing poverty. So enna pandrom, self-employment programs and wage employment programs in the 100-day system, in the particular place la irukravangala kondu varanum, rural development and all those things were there. Fine. So self-help groups, poverty alleviation, self-employment programs and wage employment programs were there. Okay, so we have the rural employment generation program, prime minister's Rozgar Yojana, in the madri ippo kuda we have programs like where the self-help groups, self-employment programs irukku, then gas cylinder giving systems, then building homes, restroom construction ku kudukra and the loan, All these systems are done for what, or created for what, for alleviating the poor. And the poor people அவங்க கண்டிஷனில் இருந்து uplift பண்ணுறதுக்காக. ஏன் இப்போ நம்ம why do we have this system of giving gas cylinder? எதுக்கு? Because to improve their standard of living. நம்ம poverty எப்படி remove பண்ணணும்னு பார்த்தோம், by improving the standard of living. So firewood தான் அவங்களோட basic cooking fuel. அதை தாண்டி if they want to consume cylinder, they want the gas facility. So அதை கொடுக்கிறது, that was a poverty alleviation programs. It is one of the examples of poverty alleviation program. The first program aims at creating self-employment opportunities in urban areas. So each program I want you to look into it, study and present it to me as an assignment. என்னென்ன programs poverty alleviation காக கொடுத்திருக்காங்களோ, those programs should be studied and it should be presented as a report to me. Fine. So each program's explanation is given here. I want you to go through it and we will continue from here in the next session. Fine. And we will assess what were the programs and how did they work, were they really fruitful, were they really useful to the poor people. All these discussions will be continued in the next session. So if at all you have any doubts, please feel free to reach me out and get your doubts clarified. Thank you and may all have a wonderful day today.